Hello and welcome to the very first games that I love, but you hate. Today's game that we're going to be doing is Megaman Network Transmission. I always almost say Battle Network. Now, before we start going into this, I gotta thank my friend Jorgie. Some of you know that I have two Wiis. One barely works, cannot play discs, can only do the downloadable games. Second is the blue Walmart Wii, and it just does not play GameCube games at all. Like, there's no GameCube ports. So that's a bummer. But my friend Jorgie, apparently he doesn't use his Wii that much because he can't, really. And so until he can, I get to use his Wii, and that means we can do some gameplay footage of Megaman Network Transmission. Yay! First, let's go over why you guys hate the game. So, I might not have done too much research about why people hate the game, but I can assume why. First off, it's Megaman Network. It's usually Battle Network. But this is the first Megaman Battle Network game to come onto home consoles. So people were like hoping for, oh, yeah, we'll have the same experience that we did on the Game Boy Advance. And if you didn't know, Megaman Battle Network is an RPG kind of Mega Man game. It's kind of hard to explain, and to be honest, I haven't personally played it, but it looks fun enough, and it looks like it deserves its little fan base that it has. So I'll try those out later. But I can tell right away that people are probably just mad at this game because it does not have the same RPG elements that Mega Man Battle Network on the Game Boy Advance has. It has the chips and stuff, which is good, but it doesn't play out. It plays more like a classic Mega Man game, where it's just jumping and shooting, but you have tons of weapons. It's not just like, oh, be Robot Master, get one weapon. You have tons of little weapons you can use. This is probably why the Battle Network people hate it, is because it doesn't have that RPG element. It's not what they wanted. So they automatically just like, oh, this is rubbish, throw it away. The second reason people might hate this game is because the classic Mega Man fans and the Mega Man X fans, like myself, who bought this game, were like, oh wow, I can't wait to play like a old school Mega Man game again. Yeah, and then they get this and it's like, huh, this is extremely complicated. I don't know what's going on. I'm lost. I have to do all this moving around, exploring. I don't like this exploring. I just want to go and shoot things and find things. And so people might hate that part about it. It's like, it's not as dry and cut as other Mega Man games have been. So, that part in it, it's like, oh, just get rid of it. I don't like it. So, the classic Mega Man fanboys and the Mega Man X fanboys are probably like, oh, this is so confusing. There's these elements in here that I don't like. It's different. I don't like it. Blah, blah. So when you mush it together, it doesn't really appeal to either fans if you think about it. And the third reason you guys might hate it is because it is ridiculously hard. When I was younger, I was like, there's no way anybody beat this game. It's like Diddy Kong Racing or Bomberman 64. It's just way too hard. It's way like over my head. There's no way anybody could beat this. But I came back a few years later and I beat it after I had played Mega Man 1 through whatever. I got the Mega Man Anniversary Collection and I just played all those. I came back and played this one, beat it. But yeah, it is ridiculously hard. The Zero boss battle, that's not even the last boss battle, and that's ridiculously hard. Props to you if you got past that. But then again, a lot of Mega Man fanboys like the challenge, even though they complain about it all the time. I love Mega Man. I love the challenge that Mega Man 3 gives you, and I love the challenge that Mega Man 9 gives you. So, I like the challenge. This is good. I like it. It's like, stop complaining. It's a hard game. Oh, well, whatever. Go play Mega Man 2 or easy mode, whatever. Okay, so that's the reasons why you guys probably hate the game. Or most of the haters hate the game. However, I enjoyed the game. I think it mixes the elements pretty well. It tries to be something different. It's not trying to be the same game that Mega Man Classics and X and the Network Transmission or Battle Network games are trying to be. It's trying to be like a different kind of game, even though it has the Network name under it. First reason I like it is an obvious reason. If you didn't know this, I love boss fights. They're freaking amazing. And Mega Man boss battles are always amazing. I love Mega Man boss battles. So when I see people like Fireman in the game, who are extremely hard, Fireman is way too hard to be the first boss in the game. Seriously, it's ridiculous. And then you have Gutsman, you have, I don't even know who Color Man is, but he's a clown and he's better than Clown Man. So yeah, Clown. Who's not Clown Man? Color Man. Yeah, Color Man. He sucks. I just love the bosses in this game. I love the bosses. It kept me going. I was like, wow, I can't wait to see who the next boss is. Shadow Man? No way! Yeah, okay, I ruined one of the cool bosses, but whatever. Now you'll have something to go work for. You'll probably never get that far. And Zero is ridiculously hard. Ridiculous. He's so hard I had to put him in my hardest boss battle series. And somebody told me to do base, and I'm like, oh god, I don't want to even try to go for base. So the bosses in here are ridiculously hard. They're ridiculously cool, and I love that they use the classic Mega Man characters as the bosses. I know other Battle Network games have done that too, but it was just awesome. This is the first network game, only network game I played, and I thought it was awesome. And since we're going on to difficulty with these bosses, I think number 2 should be that I love the difficulty. It's hard. Like, okay, so this kind of sucks is that if you have a certain amount of chips, and if you lose that amount of chips, then it's like game over. You start from your last save, and that sucks. But it gives you amount of lives, like, oh, okay, you're down to 0, you might want to jack out, whatever. And you jack out, and you're like, okay, I can save my progress before I go in, blah, blah, blah. It's like trial and error. But you can save those chips, like every time you go back into the WWW, you have the same set amount of chips every time, so it's not like you get to keep collecting lives. Once you collect like a super blue chip or whatever it is, you keep like lives. Like you go in with 2 lives, you find like 2 other blue chips, you get 4 lives every time you enter the game now. However, once you get to like the end and the boss like pretty much rapes you, you might be like a little angry that you have to do the entire level over again. Especially if it's freaking Swordman's level or Pharaoh Man's level. Those levels are freaking hard, and it's so ridiculous that you have to start over if you can't beat the boss the first time. So I can see another reason why people wouldn't like that. But I love that difficulty. All the old Mega Man games did that. It's like, oh, you ran out of lives? Start over. So I can deal with that. That's cool. And the third reason I love it, it's like a strategy, RPG, platforming. It's everything. All I have to do is select chips. I have a barrier chip. Like, oh, I have a shield. Okay, now I have this weird cannon gun that's extremely overpowered. Bam, bam. And I have to have these HP things. And you have like a certain amount of chips. Like there's a lot of chips to choose from. Monsters are constantly dropping like chips, so you can always get more chips. Like you're like, oh, I only have 3 shots. You fight some monsters or find some random chips on the ground. Okay, now I have 7 shots every time I enter or I get that chip. So that's nice. And I do like that you get your power-ups from the enemies. They're not nearly as powerful. They're not nearly as like good. Like Fireman's, it's okay, but I collected all of the Mega Man power chips, like the Robot Master power chips, but I still couldn't go to base. What's up with that? I don't understand. So I'm gonna have to figure that one out, and then I'll do base on hardest boss battle. So I like the mix. I like the ability to choose your chips and then go into the battle. So there's why I love it. I know why people would hate it, and it's obvious why people would hate it. And it's definitely not for like newcomer gamers like I was when I was a kid. Like, I thought I was going to hate this game too for the rest of my life, but I went back, played it. It's really good. It's really, really underrated. People just like toss it up. I don't think people know this game exists. And the people that do think it's horrible and it's absolute garbage. I think the GameSpot review was like 6.7. I'd have to go check that out. But yeah, it was ridiculous. I hate numerical reviews because that like inspires people like, oh well, 7, screw that. Well, 7.5 I guess would be considered good, but I go by an grading average. And if I got a C on a test, I'd be like, whoa, what's going on? That doesn't make any sense. So no, a 7 is not really good in my standard. That's why I hate numerical reviews. And every time I do a review, I never put a number in it because it's stupid. It's stupid. Stupid. I recommend checking it out. It's not like horrible. Give it a try. You might hate it. I guess especially if you're the network fanboys or the, you know what? You just have to take it for yourself. I don't even know what to say to you guys. I like it. It's a fun game. I enjoyed playing it. I don't regret playing it, definitely. So check it out. I'll see you next time on video games that I love but you hate.